Hey, everybody. Welcome to The Player's Take. I'm your host, Justin DeSimone, joined by my co-hosts, the worst player on this podcast, Montrell Rice.
Wait, what the fuck?
And the best gamer on this podcast, Tiara Atari.
Oh my gosh! It's such an honor. Thank you.
All right,
Thank
the
you.
podcast is over. I'm stopping recording right now.
I mean, I'm saying this for a specific reason.
oh
and
my god.
I'm in the middle for a specific reason. So Tiara platinum Ghost of Tsushima first last week.
Yes.
I platinum it second. And then Montrell's not going to platinum it, but he beat it this weekend. So Montrell's trash. Isn't that right, Tiara?
Absolutely. It's a very easy platinum trophy to get.
It's really
There's
easy.
no reason why you shouldn't get it.
And I started it a week after Montrell did.
Yeah.
And I played on Lethal. And I got the
Yeah.
platinum and beat the game before him. So
Yeah.
there we go.
All worthy notations.
It's all laid on the table. It's all out there. Montrell's real silent right now, but it's great. How are you guys doing otherwise?
I don't know, Justin. You tell me. How does it feel to suck dick?
Whoa! Such an escalation. Such an escalation.
Ooh, I like it. Look, I like the feistiness. I like it. Okay, we gotta keep this energy all show. Let's go, Montrell. I'm ready to fight. You said you didn't like Community earlier. I'm ready to fight you, bro. I'm ready to fight you. You know,
It's not that I don't like it. I see the humor. It's just not my humor.
I
If that
can't
makes
wait till we do a spoiler cast because I really want to talk about this ending.
Yes, so that's a good point. So let me do the rigmarole, I guess, first. So for those of you who listened before, this is our weekly show where we talk about video games, video game news, and other topics pertaining to video games. We post at 6 a.m. Central Time on Fridays on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, and your favorite podcast app of choice. We're also on YouTube, 6 a.m. Central Time on Mondays. And getting into the spoiler cast. So we have all beaten Ghost of Tsushima. We're going to talk about that a little bit here in what we're playing, but we're going to be doing a spoiler cast on it, all three of us, probably sometime this week. It will more than likely post next week. So look out for that. We'll post it on Twitter when it goes live at The Player's Take if you don't know what the Twitter is. So just pay attention to that. It'll be going up within the next week or two. So yes, and it will be very in-depth. I have a lot to say about this game. I've kind of held back on the show because I knew we were doing a spoiler cast. So yeah. Okay, let's just jump into it then. What we've been playing. Guys, who wants to go first?
Best goes first.
Yeah, sure thing. You know what, Montrell? So Montrell's last. I'm noting that here in the doc.
Oh my god.
Okay, so I have been playing Call of
He actually types it out in the doc.
Yes.
All
I
right.
have been playing Call of Duty
All right.
and I've been playing the Outer Worlds. So first Call of Duty. Now that I have beaten Ghost of Tsushima, like I can get back onto like what I really wanted to do, which is like really getting back into competitive gaming. I didn't really realize this until recently, but pretty much all my friends grew up on first person shooters, and that's why they're all so good. Me, I've never really played first person shooters like that. So this is my first time really getting serious about it.
Mm-hmm.
So I just played multiplayer for the first time like 2 days ago.
Okay.
In Call of Duty. So
wait, so you're talking like traditional multiplayer, or are we talking Warzone?
No, traditional multiplayer.
Got it. Okay, so like
it's a bit of a learning curve because I'm like, first of all, I don't know the maps,
right,
and the different game modes. So it's just a thing where all my friends are just like, don't worry about it. You just need to play more. But that's what I'm doing for Call of Duty, and then getting back into Warzone as well. And then the Outer Worlds, the Switch almost ruined my experience with the Outer Worlds.
Yeah.
It's so unplayable on the Switch. It's not even funny. So I haven't even it's just too unplayable.
Well, did you pick it up somewhere else?
Yes.
Okay.
And this goes back to, me saying something positive about Microsoft. The Outer Worlds, I think I was gonna buy it on PlayStation because I think I saw it was half off, and I was like, I've already spent $60 on this game, but I was just like, 30 I may do. But when I was scrolling through the Game Pass, I saw that Outer Worlds was on a Game Pass. So here it is. I already have the game, and now I'm playing it on Xbox, and it's a completely different game on Xbox. Like night and day. I will say the game is a combination between Fallout and BioShock.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's a completely night and day. Even I've realized that they cut out some parts in the Switch version of the Outer
Yeah.
Worlds, because when I was playing it, I said, I don't remember all of this. When I was playing with the Switch, I was like, I don't remember this. It seemed like to me with the Switch, I created my character and I got dropped down in the pod and then the game started. Whereas with the Xbox, it was like a whole thing. Like some guy was running from, he was like, he got a bounty on his head and then he freed me, and then it's a bunch of my other colonists on this whole like colony ship or whatever. And I'm like, all of this stuff is happening in the Outer Worlds, and I'm like, wow, this never happened on the Switch. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. There's a lot of games like that. I know The Witcher had content taken out of it on the Switch, and I have a feeling it's probably because they need to get it down to a certain size. Like,
I think so as well.
Yeah, and that's one of the Switch's biggest problems, is the fact that it only has like 26 gigs, I think, out of 32 available for games without an SD card. So that might be part of it. But yeah, that's why I don't really play third-party stuff on Switch very much, because it's just, you're asking for a worse experience.
And then but as I was playing the Outer Worlds, the game looks like spectacular on console, like way different than console Switch. Because I was playing the Outer Worlds, I had the Switch hooked up to my TV and I was playing it. So way different game, and you can see the graphic intensiveness, that the Switch does not have. You can see, where they sacrifice graphics for like frame rate to keep the game going. So definitely happy that I'm playing it on Xbox now.
Well,
I'm just sick that I wasted $60 on it for the Switch.
Yeah. And Nintendo's really unforgiving return policy, actually non-existent return policy, let's be honest. Yeah, that's rough. Is it fair to say this is the beginning of your Game Pass journey, that you're gonna play all the Game Pass games?
I've always had the Game Pass.
I know, but you said you're going to play every game on Game Pass, remember?
Oh, no, this is not the beginning of my Game Pass journey. And when I said that, I meant the next gen games, and you know that.
Okay.
I want to say, do not get me stuck in that bubble.
Okay, I'm just saying, there are people that listen to this show that are very interested in you playing all the games on Game Pass. So we're already starting to get some stipulations on what those games are.
Next gen.
Okay, next gen.
Oh, now
all
she played on next gen.
Next gen, right? Yeah, next week it'll be like, just first party games. So we'll see. I'll be interested to see how that progresses for you. So, okay, you played anything else, Tiara, that you want to mention?
No, that's basically it. That's gonna be my focus for the next couple weeks.
All right, I'll go next since I'm the mid gamer on this show. Yeah, so I beat Ghost of Tsushima over the weekend. Just briefly talking about it. It is the ending of the game is actually really, really good. That's something that games often have trouble. I'd say things in general, like even TV shows, movies, books. Endings are hard, but they kind of nailed the ending with this game. And it's really good. Like, it's just a great.
Anybody, and I've been like holding on. It's been killing me because I was because I was the first person to beat it, so I was just like, oh my god, have you beat it yet? The ending. Yeah,
so it was really good. I almost got emotional, but I'm a robot, so almost is as close as I get. But I'm looking forward to talking about it on the spoiler cast. So I'll leave it there for that. So I've also been playing Fall Guys a little bit more. And I just want to talk about this game for a minute because I'm really enjoying the whole thing with this game. Not just the game itself, but everything surrounding it, like the social media stuff and all the because the Fall Guys Twitter is like, they're very active and they're very funny. They're like going after a streamer named Tim the Tatman, who is a fairly popular streamer, I'd say, but he's been playing Fall Guys since it came out, and he has yet to get a win in the game on stream, and it's becoming a meme at this point where it's literally like every day the Fall Guys Twitter first tweet they send out is like, man, Tim the Tatman still hasn't gotten a win today. Is it going to happen today? I doubt it. Or some kind of roast on him. So they're going back and forth too. It's been very, very fun to watch.
Yeah, I've seen some of my friends play it. I think I'm gonna get into it.
You should. This would be a very fun stream game for us, and Well, the other thing they've been doing too, they started this yesterday, I think. They posted a tweet saying basically all these brands, you know, have wanted to get their branding into the game, like get like a Fall Guy made, like a skin or whatever, and they're turning it into an actual like good contest where they're having these companies bid publicly on Twitter how much they're willing to spend to get their Fall Guy into the game, but they're basically the money they spend will be going to charity, not to Fall Guys. Like it's so they pick the charity and they're like, you know, put your highest bid out there that you're willing to donate to this charity, and whoever has the highest number after 2 weeks will get their Fall Guy in the game. And it's already up to I think like 130,000 or something like that, or 140,000. So it's heating up, man. It's been interesting. So we'll see. I'm gonna keep monitoring this, and I will definitely report back with what happens with it. But I'm enjoying everything around this game. So it's just a fun game. It's goofy. I'm not taking it like super seriously. You know, I'm not like, you know, hyper competitive with it, but it's I don't know, just a fun experience. So I've also got back into Crosscode after I beat Ghost of Tsushima. I did get kind of absorbed in this game again pretty quickly. I got through the second dungeon, which, man, I gotta say, this game is kind of crazy. Like, I was comparing it to Zelda, and frankly, I almost feel like these dungeons might even be more in-depth than Zelda's dungeons. Like, the second dungeon took me probably 3 hours of gameplay to get through. It's fucking huge. Like, there are dozens and dozens of rooms, all of which have puzzles or combat encounters, and the puzzles are, like, really intense. They're very in-depth, and some of them are not easy at all to figure out. Like, they take a lot of trial and error, so I just gotta give this game props, dude. Like, again, I know I said it before, but it's like, it's a really unique game, and I think it's just check it out. Like, if watch some gameplay, see if you're interested in it, and if you are, give it a shot. It's only $25. I think it's worth people's time if they're interested in it. And I got Sekiro today, and I played it for like an hour, and I got my ass beat. No other way to say it. Playing Ghost of Tsushima has reinforced some habits that, you know, Sekiro punishes. So I definitely need to sit with this game some more and put some more time into it, and to like unlearn all these things that I've been doing in Ghost of Tsushima, like the aggressiveness and the parry windows are completely different, and it's just like, yeah. So I will be playing that going forward here for the next few weeks. But for now, I got destroyed, and I got, you know, kind of pissed. So yeah. Montrell, what have you been playing?
I just finished Ghost of Tsushima this week, or not this week, but this past weekend. And yeah, I feel like the ending was really good. That's all I got to say about that. I've been playing a little bit more League of Legends. Just like dicking around. I haven't been doing anything serious until I get on stream with it. And then I didn't put it on the list, but I'm starting Sekiro as well. I'm starting up a new fresh game because the new game plus, like I said, I tried to jump into it like yesterday, and yeah, it's on new game plus mode, and my parries aren't the best, so it's like, even though I got
dude, right?
Yeah, even though I got all my items and stuff from the last previous playthrough I had, I'm just gonna start a fresh new game and try to go down the right path this time and beat it again. Because if I do, I'm on my new game plus mode right now. I'm at the mid-level boss, so he's fucking hard as shit. So it's like I would have to just learn everything on the fly again, and I don't want to go 30 rounds with him trying to learn parries.
That's why I got my ass beat, because I did that. I picked my playthrough up in the back where I was, and I was like right before the first couple bosses, and it probably wasn't the best choice, but I'm just gonna grind my way through it because I don't want to play through the early part of the game again. So yeah, but yeah, how is it coming off Ghost of Tsushima, dude? Is it completely throwing you off?
The mid-level boss, we gotta compare everything to fighting so
no, this is like probably the first boss of fucking Sekiro. I'm not even trying to be funny. Like, Lord,
I know it's one of those Dark Souls like games. So
yeah, none of the duels honestly compare to like Sekiro shit. Like, I may have died maybe 5 times max to like some of the people in Ghost of Tsushima, and that's because I was bullshitting. But like Sekiro, I literally be trying, and I'm like, I'm dying 30 times to this like one
Dude,
boss.
I'm like,
yeah.
I'm getting my ass handed to me by like those shitty little bandits. Like 2 or 3 of them get on you, and it's like, fuck, dude. Like I forget how to fight these guys. Like, and then like one of them hits you, and then the other one's already swinging, so he hits you, and you just get staggered, and you're dead.
Yeah. So yeah, and then the parry, like I said, the parry windows are like I got to learn all that over again. So I probably will be starting over just a new game because like the new game plus mode is like super. It's not super hard, but it is a lot harder than the regular mode. So, and then I've been trying to debate if I'm gonna start up Devil May Cry 5 again, do another playthrough of Dante Must Die mode, or if I'm gonna play the new Yakuza game, and I might play the Yakuza game before I do Devil May Cry. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm liking the area I'm at right now with games. I really don't have anything I need to finish right now. So it's just like I'm probably just taking a little break because I had to, stream, or I had to not stream, but like brush my way through Ghost of Tsushima. So
right, yeah, we were talking about this. We're through like all the major releases for a while, and I can like actually look at my backlog and maybe get through some games.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that. We were talking about it too. I'm kind of hoping that Cyberpunk gets delayed, so I really have a long window of time to play, like 6 months. That'd be great. Just get off this next generation on a cleaner foot, because I feel like right now I am not prepared for PlayStation 5 in November. So, yeah. But I did forget at the top too. I've been doing the Brigandine Let's Plays on YouTube. They're continuing to go live every other day. So I think we're on episode 10 now. That just went live today. So check those out as well if you're interested in watching me play through Brigandine. So, all right, let's get into the news. Speaking of Ghost of Tsushima, we're going to start there. They announced on Twitter yesterday that there's going to be a co-op mode called Ghost of Tsushima Legends coming this fall. It's going to be a free add-on. There will be no microtransactions. And yeah, we don't know how long it's going to be, but did you guys see this little brief trailer that they put up on Twitter?
I did not look at the trailer. I just read the article that said that it was going to be co-op.
Yes.
I don't like looking at trailers. I like to be surprised every
Oh my god!
I mean, there wasn't much here. It was a little.
What you got to say, Montrell?
Look at the best gamer.
Oh my gosh!
We don't look at trailers. I'm just so good at video games.
Well, that's why you got disappointed by Ghost of Tsushima, because you looked at the trailer.
I didn't get disappointed.
And then you were like, well, I wasn't excited about this game. I was excited because I was like, man, look at this game. And then y'all was talking about the gameplay and stuff. And I was like, nah, I ain't gonna look at no gameplay. I ain't gonna look at that. And what happened? I was pleasantly surprised.
Well, so were we. Actually,
no,
I was blown away.
Montrell said.
I was blown away.
I was blown away. So, yeah. But
this co-op mode.
This co-op mode came out, and I wasn't expecting this.
Yeah.
I think they should come out with a PvP.
That would be interesting.
That would be interesting. I don't know how they'd do it, but
yeah, I doubt they'll do it.
Either, but I think they should do it. But co-op, I'm down for co-op. Did they say how many players it's gonna be?
4.
Yeah, 4, up to 4. And it will have classes in it. So basically, based around the different styles you can play in the main game.
Mm-hmm.
So there's going to be samurai, ronin, shinobi, I think it was, or assassin, and then hunter, which is like a archer, basically, which are the 4 kind of main styles you can play as in the game.
And they did say they're going to have like mythical abilities, so they're probably adding moves that you can't get in the single player, probably like more mythical moves and stuff like that.
Well, and I'm sure the heavenly strike and like the dance of wrath will probably be moves you can use as well.
Yeah. Well, from what they're talking about, it looks like it's going to be more fantasy style, like like actual video game shit. Like
I gotta re-download Ghost of Tsushima because
you already uninstalled it.
Once I platinum something or I get all of the achievements, I delete the game and I never play it again.
I mean, I'm gonna keep it now. I was gonna do the same thing, but
so now to free up space.
Right.
So now I'm like, dang, I gotta re-download. But it wasn't that big of a game though.
No, it was only like 40 gigs.
And that's so crazy that we say it's only like 40.
I know.
I know. Actually, but
I remember
Call of Duty was 100 gigabytes.
Yeah, I remember 600 megabytes being big for a game. back in the 90s. So
literally, I had to just the other day I had to download a 72 gigabyte update for Call of Duty. What the hell? It's no way.
I don't know
No way
how they got this.
gigabytes.
I don't know how they got the size.
That's a game by itself.
Yeah, I don't know how they got the size of this game the way they got it, but Call of Duty cost fucking 250 goddamn gigabytes or just to fucking play the game. Like, so crazy, yo. Like, and that's just Warzone. Like, I don't know.
Because you have to download the entire game for whatever reason to play Warzone. You have to download the entire game, even though you don't have access to the entire game. You have to download the entire game.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And I don't understand why
they're doing it to annoy you so that you'll go buy the game.
But on top of that, it would be one thing if it like updated periodically, but it updates all the freaking time. It seems like every couple of days is a different update for Call of Duty.
No, you're right. That's why I don't play it that much, because I'm just tired of updates. Every time I turn it on, it's like update. I'm like, I do not feel like
every time my friends be like, all right, let's play it. I'd be like, all right, let's play it. All right, never mind. I'll see you in a couple hours because
it's got to update.
Gotta update.
But no, Ghost of Tsushima though looks like it's going to be really good. It supposed to remind me of another game. But I forgot that game.
Well, I mean, they made it look like Neo.
Yeah, there you go. Neo.
Yeah, I mean, there looks like there's going to be like a mythical element to this. Like you're going to be fighting monsters, not just people. So
yeah,
there's just going to be a little bit different from the main game, which is kind of cool. Actually, I like that. So I'm very interested in this. I definitely will be checking this out. I think this will be a good stream opportunity for the three of us too. So
definitely,
I'm looking forward to this. They did just put like a generic window though of fall on it, so it could be any time between now and November probably. So we'll see. We'll see when it comes out. But when we get a date,
if it came out now, and then we could have did our spoiler cast and streamed at the same time, because then we would have been actually talking about Ghost of Tsushima.
Mm-hmm.
But it's too good to be true.
So yeah, whenever they give us a date though, we'll let you guys know. So, all right, let's move on. We talked about this a couple of weeks ago that actually, this was a while ago. Warner Brothers had been put up. The Warner Brothers Games division had been put up for sale. And this was kind of a big deal because that is a lot of talent and IPs that would have been available. But there has been a recent shift within Warner Brothers. They restructured some things internally, and they sent a message to their employees. Makes it sound like that they're no longer for sale. They kind of reaffirmed that they're part of Warner Brothers' like larger initiatives and AT&T's kind of larger initiatives, and they're moving forward, kind of assuming that everyone's going to be there. So it sounds like this plan to sell them isn't happening anymore, which to me, frankly, I'm kind of happy about. I don't really want to see Activision or EA get their hands on some of these studios. So. But I don't know. What did you guys think about what do you guys think about this?
I mean, honestly, I have no opinion. I mean, WB Interactive, they're a good company or a good studio, or
well, they're a publisher technically.
Well, yeah, publisher. So I mean, I don't understand why they were looking to sell it in the first place, because I mean, they kind of had a lot of success with their games, so that's pretty weird.
Well, I'm about to say, keep in mind that this division it could be owned by AT&T.
They are owned by AT&T. That's actually what I was going to say. They were trying to sell this in order to pay down.
I remember we were talking about that a couple weeks back about how the Warner Gaming is under Warner Media, which is under AT&T. So like they were trying to sell off the gaming division to recoup some capital.
I wonder what made them keep it though. I mean, I know they're restructuring. Like,
I think it's their new CEO, honestly.
That's possible.
Warner Media's new CEO, not just of the gaming division, but of the whole Warner Media, and so that could be it. And he has a different view about gaming. Mm-hmm. He actually thinks that gaming can be like super successful.
Which, I mean, it can obviously.
Right. But what I'm saying, we just talk about companies, not thinking that gaming is like a hobby or whatever, like Microsoft, for instance. And not that Microsoft think gaming is a hobby, but they don't really, when something isn't profitable, they get rid of it. So
Disney would probably be a better example, where they had a gaming division and they got rid of it because it wasn't working for them. Yeah,
I never knew that.
Well, I mean, my assumption here is that they started talking to companies, talking about pricing and the specifics, and I bet there was probably a lot of interest, but yeah, no one wanted to pay what they wanted for it. And I bet in specifics, a lot of the IPs that these companies under Warner Media work on probably would not have been available potentially, like Batman and DC stuff, and then even the Lego games with TT Games.
You talk about Rocksteady,
Rocksteady,
Monolith,
WB Montreal. Like, I think a lot of those studios would have come. Like, you would have been buying those studios, but you might not have been able to be getting the IPs that they worked on, because they're wrapped up in other companies. So I have a feeling that's probably what happened. And then I think a lot of companies probably were like, we're not as interested anymore, and didn't want to pay as much. So that's my assumption here. And then maybe with the new CEO having a different outlook on games, they just decided, screw it. We'll just, whatever money we thought we were going to make selling, we'll just make it selling games, So that would be my guess.
But I think that I kind of agree with that too. I think it may have been a thing of, because we see this all the time where companies, buy out other companies, but they don't have the IP. So it's kind of like that game is useless because I can't do nothing with this game. I don't have the IP.
Like that happened with Telltale, right? Like Telltale Games, like they don't have any IPs. Like, what are you buying when you buy Telltale? But somebody did buy Telltale, which is weird. But
who bought Telltale?
I don't even remember the name.
And are we getting more Telltale games?
It was some random company that kind of just bought the name, and there was no one working for the company when they bought it. So it was like, it's kind of a weird situation, but they are
sometimes buying the name. It doesn't sound like as invaluable, or not invaluable, but doesn't sound like as useless as you would think, because Telltale has established themselves as with their episodic games that were actually really, really good. So somebody who doesn't follow the developer side of gaming will be like, "Oh, Telltale."
Right.
Even though it's a completely different company now, but they'd be like, "Oh, Telltale, I
They'll
remember."
See the logo, right?
Right, exactly. So sometimes buying a name isn't necessarily,
that brand has some pull, right? It definitely has some pull with gamers.
There you go.
And I will say they do have one IP actually that they are working on, which is The Wolf Among Us, and they are making the second season of The Wolf Among Us. So that's already been announced and that's confirmed. So it's not a totally dead company. Yeah, it's not a totally dead company at this point, but yeah, that was like an extreme example where like that is literally the only IP that Telltale had, really. Everything else they worked on was other people's IPs. So there wasn't much to buy there, but in terms of Warner, I mean, you would have had some stuff with Warner, like Mortal Kombat and some other games, some other bigger games, but I think the lack of DC like access and Lego access might have been an issue for sure. So, but whatever the case, they're not up for sale anymore. So, like I said, I think that's a good thing. This would have been a monumental shift with whoever bought it. That would have been a huge acquisition that I feel like might have unbalanced things. I kind of like where things are between the big three publishers like Ubisoft, EA, and Activision. I feel like they're all kind of equal for the most part in terms of they do different things, but they're not like, there isn't one that's like overwhelmingly larger than the other two, and I feel like this might have pushed one of them over that edge. So that's probably a good thing. And honestly, I know Microsoft was in the ring for this too. Like, I don't, as much as we like want them to have more stuff, to like more exclusives, like these are not the games that I want them to have exclusives for. So happy that didn't happen either. All right, cool. Let's move on. We got a couple more stories actually in the realm of WB. So two things. This happened last week. The first one, a Suicide Squad game from Rocksteady was announced. It's called Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League was announced. And then WB Games Montreal has been teasing a Batman game for quite a while actually, but they're finally like getting to the point where I think they're going to be revealing it soon. So WB Games Montreal has a Batman game. Rocksteady's got a Suicide Squad game. What do you guys think we can expect from these?
Okay, so I think the game is obviously going to be good. Rocksteady is, the man on campus when it comes to those Batman games.
Yeah.
But I'm just more disappointed in the name. Like that's as good as you can get. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Like really, you might as well just call it Suicide Squad, to be honest. But I don't know. Kill the Justice League. It's so corny. It's just like, and it even more so because the Suicide Squad doesn't even focus on the Justice League. Like, you know,
right.
So I just, well, whatever. You know, the game itself would be good. I just think for marketing purposes, they should change the name.
I mean, I like the idea of you hunting down Superman, killing him. So I mean, I don't really follow DC like that. So I know probably my couple of my friends would probably get on me about this, but yeah, I mean, Suicide Squad sounds like a live service game. To be honest with you,
I was gonna say that. So, do you think that's possible?
I think it's
like it's gonna be their Avengers.
You mean a live server game like an MMO?
No, like Avengers,
like Avengers or Destiny type deal.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be like that. One
but
thing I will
Destiny
say,
MMO?
You say what? No,
isn't Destiny considered to be an MMO?
It's an MMO. They don't call it an MMO. It's like
a pseudo. I call it a pseudo MMO.
Yeah. It's not really like a. It's not like a Final Fantasy. It's like I don't even know what to call it. Yeah, pseudo MMO. It's all instance based. So.
Yeah, I mean, calling it a live service game is kind of, that's really what it is. So.
Yeah.
It seems like to me.
But I think.
Go ahead.
But yeah, I think I had seen people saying like, "Oh, well, you know, this is going to be better than the Avengers." I'm like, we haven't even seen gameplay footage. For all we know, this can be a tactical fucking Fire Emblem type game or some shit like that. Not saying it's bad, that's bad, but like people will be like, "Oh, this is not what I thought it would be." So let's wait until the trailer comes out, and then we can say stuff. And then even still, we gotta play the game because I still haven't played Avengers. The new Batman game. So I am on the complete other side of the fence with y'all. Because I am not impressed with the Batman games. The only Batman game I like is Batman Arkham's Asylum. All the
you didn't
other
like
ones,
Arkham Knight?
I did not like Arkham Knight, and I did not like Arkham City.
That's easily the best one.
All right, don't put me in a box, Montrell. Okay,
I'm not.
I am on your side with this, dude. I think Asylum. I think Asylum's the best one, and they got worse.
You think the first one is the best one?
The first one is the best one in my opinion.
It was a focused game that was trying to do a very specific thing, and it did that very specific thing really well. And then the next two games got muddier and muddier in what they were trying to do.
Did any of y'all read comics, DC comics?
No, but.
So then that solves it right then and there. That's the exact reason why y'all feel the way y'all feel, because
it has nothing to do with it has nothing to do with the story. It's all gameplay. Like it's nothing. I had issues with gameplay.
Well, I look at games as a whole. I'm not gonna just talk about a game based on gameplay. Like, I think about games as a whole, the graphics, the story, like everything.
Yeah,
I mean, I do too, but
I do too.
You know, like the Batmobile and fucking
that shit was ass.
Oh my
god, that shit was ass. That shit took over the entire game, bro. I'm good on that. Like, that shit was ass.
Because Batman has a Batmobile, he should have been had a Batmobile. What you mean it took over the whole game?
Yeah, but it was a bad implementation though of the Batmobile. Like they turned it into a fucking tank, and it just wasn't like.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I mean when I ask y'all if y'all read comics, because the Batmobile is like a tank.
Yeah, but the Batmobile it doesn't matter what it is in the comics. Like, it needs to be fun though. It wasn't fun. Like, that was mechanic.
That's like me saying like fucking, I don't know, Naruto Bonds, the fighting game, is the best fucking. Or that's like me saying Naruto or Dragon Ball Z, what is it called? Ultimate Tenkaichi, or not Ultimate Tenkaichi, but Ultimate Fighter is the best fighting game ever, when it's clearly objectively the worst fighting game of Dragon Ball Z. But because it got all the characters and it got all the lore, I'm like, that shit is a fucking 7. Like, no, man. Like, we all know Dragon Ball Z.
It's just about.
But you just said that. You said it's about, because I know Dragon Ball Z though. But I know
it's a great adaptation, actually.
I beg to differ. I didn't like I said, I didn't like the gameplay. Like, it was too open for me. I like how focused.
Too open.
Yes, it was too open.
You ain't say that about no other open world game that is too open.
I always say that. I always say that.
When we talk about Ghost of Tsushima, you'll hear me talk about that. So
too open.
Oh yeah,
the open world game is too open.
Yeah, I like how Arkham. I like how Arkham Asylum was focused on the prison and the island that you were
because it's called Arkham Asylum, and then it was Arkham City,
and then you had to use his you had to use his gadgets, and you had to solve stuff. He was a detective, like Batman's a detective
you
novel.
do detective stuff in Arkham Knight.
Barely. You're
It is that
barely doing it. It was way more fleshed out in Arkham Asylum, in my opinion.
Well,
not tripping, and I would die on this hill for them.
So
Arkham games.
you can die on the hill. I that's fine. I don't think it's a bad game. It's just not my favorite Arkham game.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Making it seem like it was like so bad.
I said I'm on the other side of the fence. If it's anything like Arkham City, if it's anything like Arkham City, then I'm probably not going to be looking forward to the game because I didn't like the way that game played. I didn't say it's a bad game. I just didn't like the way it played compared to Arkham Asylum. That's my opinion. And I stick by it.
Low key, high key, but
it's not. No, it's not. So I don't know. The fact that they're going against the Court of the Owls, I do know about them, and I did read that comic book run when he was going against them. So I am interested in seeing how he's going to how the game's going to incorporate them into the game or whatever, into gameplay and stuff. But
I would say it'll probably be like I don't know if you saw the animated film Batman versus Robin or Batman. Yeah, I think it's Batman versus Robin. I don't know if you saw that animated film, but it'll be like that essentially.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like the Court of Owls is like this behind the scenes secret society of all of these rich people that run Gotham or whatever. Yep. And they're like and they're actually kind of new to the canon. Like within I really feel like within the 2010, like that decade era, like I really feel like that's when they got introduced. And it's supposed to be like they're the ones who got who put the hit out on Bruce's parents or whatever, you know, because Thomas Wayne was trying to derail whatever they were trying to do. And then they fight with these they have these, it's a character called Talon, and basically he's like this undead assassin or whatever, and he has like some regenerative abilities or whatever, and he's an assassin for the Court of Owls. And then some iterations, Talon's a girl, so you know, it depends.
That does sound cool.
But I would say, like, if you wanted to know about the Court of Owls or whatever, I would say watch that Batman versus Robin animated film. It's on HBO Max.
Well, it's important to note WB Montreal, they're not new to the Arkham series. They have made a game. They made Arkham Origins, which came out between City and Night.
Oh, I forgot all about that.
Wait, there's an Arkham Origins game? I'm gonna play that. I never heard of that before.
You never played that?
Nope.
Yeah, they came out in like 2012. It was a late PlayStation 3 game.
It was between what and what?
It was between City and Night, but it was not chronologically. Like it came out between those two games. In terms of storyline, it's before all of them. It's like a prequel. I never played it, but a lot of people didn't like it because it didn't have Rocksteady's kind of stamp on it. But I don't know. A lot of people kind of have like, they feel like people were a little unfair to the game because it was made by somebody that wasn't Rocksteady, so people are being extra hard on it, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I think that's
so.
Definitely.
I'd actually be interested to know what you think, Tiara, if you do play it.
Yeah, I'm gonna play it. Maybe not this month or next month, but I definitely have it on my list of things to play because I never knew it was an Arkham Origins game. So,
and in terms of the Suicide Squad game, I just want to say real quick too, we're going to hear about both of these games this weekend, I think, actually. So we'll have more to say next week, once they're officially revealed. But I am actually going to be very curious to see what they're doing with gameplay in the Suicide Squad game. I'm expecting the Batman game to be an evolution of the Arkham games.
Yeah.
But this game, I would be interested to know if they're going to use that Arkham combat style or do something completely different with it.
I think they're going to use the Arkham combat style.
Yeah, I hope not, because I'm not a fan of it personally.
I don't think there's any. I mean, the whole fun was like the whole beat 'em up type thing or whatever. But that fit Batman's personality. But I don't feel like there's any reason to think that they wouldn't use, because just like you say, you don't like it. There's a lot of people who do like it.
Oh, I know there are. So, I'm just thinking like these characters are going to be very different from Batman, though.
No, I agree with you. None of them have that beat 'em up style of fighting like Batman, except
And
maybe the other bats.
It's an opportunity to kind of do different things within this kind of universe in terms of gameplay. You know, you could have like different gameplay styles within the same game if you control multiple characters.
It's so funny because I'm looking at the the tweets that Rocksteady put out, with the target on Superman's head or whatever, and I'm scrolling through the comments, and a lot of people like, literally nobody asked for this. Why are we getting a Suicide Squad game? And I'm like, wow, really? I'm excited for Suicide Squad. I think it's because a lot of people don't really like, even in the comics, I really feel like a lot of people don't pay attention to Suicide Squad or whatever. They don't really know what Suicide Squad is or whatever. Except maybe if you watch the movie, maybe that gives you some semblance. But I was just looking at this picture, trying to disseminate like what this game is going to be about, and it looks like an evil Superman. So that says to me it could be either one or two things. It could be like an Injustice type
Injustice
thing,
version of him, or Bizarro.
or it can be Crisis of Two. What's that? Crisis of Two Earths or whatever.
Crisis of Infinite Earths.
Yes. Crisis of Infinite Earths, when they had the evil Superman, which is his name was Ultraman. So it could be him. That it doesn't necessarily mean it's actually Superman, but if it is, I do hope it would be Superman though.
Everybody would kill Superman.
No, because I like Injustice. I read the Injustice comics. Like, I like Injustice. I think it's a very realistic take on what would happen. Like, it's no way. Like, people get power hungry all the time, and somebody with Superman's powers, I would expect for him to be like, I would not be surprised if he got power hungry. Like,
especially after Joker killed Lois Lane.
Right, and so it's very realistic to me. And Suicide Squad, they are actually anti-heroes.
Yeah, right.
So they're not villains,
They're working on the side of good, quote unquote. They're not.
Well, they have a bomb in their hair, so they're being forced.
Right, of course. I that's why I put it in quotes.
Yeah, like in order to I think shave time off their sentences or something like that, then they do missions that would normally kill other people, which is why they call it the Suicide Squad or whatever.
Right.
And so I think to myself, it would all make sense if it's like, because that's why Suicide Squad got formed in the first place, is because Amanda Waller is like, okay, well, I need my ace in the hole to combat all of these supers.
Yeah.
So it would make sense. So I'm actually kind of excited. I'm more excited for the Suicide Squad game than I am the Batman game.
I kind of am too. It's interesting though, because I've talked to Montrell about this, but Tiara, I haven't talked to you about this, because the Batman game, Arkham Knight, the third one, had kind of had a story like for half the game that was kind of leading to like Batman getting corrupted, and they ended up kind of getting out of it at the end of the game. But this is funny that this might be an evil Superman. They're basically doing almost exactly what I wanted them to do after that game. Like, I was like, you could have had Batman be the villain for this game, and the Suicide Squad could have gone after him, rather than Superman.
But it's not like realistic for Batman to be like the villain.
Yeah, but think about the story in that game with Joker fucking him up the whole game and like getting in his head and like taking his body over. Like, you could have actually had Joker win that internal struggle and take him over, but they like I said, they bailed on that. And then that could have been your lead in to this next game. But
yeah, but how would that even happen?
Well, I like the other version of the Batman that I read. I can't remember the author's name, but pretty much Bruce Wayne died, and then his father turned to Batman, and then his mom turned to the Joker. And I thought that was like a really interesting take on Batman.
Talking about. That's a parallel universe. That's Earth 2. Okay. So in Earth 2, Bruce Wayne died instead of Thomas Wayne. So and then his wife, because of the grief from losing her son, turned into the Joker.
Yeah.
But Thomas Wayne think of him as like a Jason Hood type character, like kills, like, he believes that, put something down once so it don't come after you again, that type thing. But he was also like corrupt as well. Like, he was kind of like an anti-hero as well. He wasn't like straight edge like Batman or whatever.
Yeah.
And then also in that Earth they have Supergirl, but her name is Power Girl.
Yeah.
And she's like, so it's a parallel universe in the
story. back to what I was saying real quick though. Like, remember how Batman got injected with the Joker virus at the end of the second game,
Uh-huh.
and that the whole third game, Joker's in his head the whole time or whatever, and fucking him up. That's you just play that out where he doesn't like overcome the virus like he does at the end. You know, instead he doesn't
Did the virus
overcome it.
kill people though?
I don't know. It just drives them crazy,
Thought it
right?
killed people.
I mean,
it killed
it kills some people, but
I thought that was like a thing. Like I thought the side effect was just him being a Joker, but I thought it ultimately killed him.
yeah, and maybe it could have, but I mean, this is Batman. This is
he's dying.
yeah, but think about it. This is Batman we're talking about. Think about the resources he has. Say the Joker takes like the Joker persona takes over, and all the shit he has at his disposal. He could have created some kind of serum or whatever the fuck to like counteract the killing part of the virus. You know, so.
Right.
I mean, they could have made it work, but I mean, they didn't go that way. So we're gonna kill Superman instead. So I don't know. That was always my thing with Arkham Knight. Is like I kind of wish they had just like gone all the way because it would have been like a unique Batman story. I feel like that was like because I don't know of anything like that in the comic books ever happening. Like I'm sure there's been bad versions of Batman, but it's been for different reasons, you know. So.
Yeah, or I don't know if there's been an actual bad version of Bruce Wayne. Like I said,
Yeah, right.
But I don't know if there's been a bad version of Bruce Wayne because he doesn't have superpowers. He's not like ego inflated, you know.
Yeah, because think about it, right? If he turns evil, he has all these contingencies with the Justice League and all that. Like he could have wreaked havoc on the status quo of the DC universe, you know. And you could have made a Justice League game or the Suicide Squad game where he's the villain you're trying to take down, you know? And it's like, yeah, it would. I think it would have been very interesting, but alas, it won't. It won't happen.
Down Superman. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be cool if Superman is kind of the villain of the game, so that'll be interesting. So, all right, let's move on. We got our main story this week, and this is big. This is a big deal. This isn't just games. This affects a lot of shit. So Epic Games has gotten in a bit of a pissing contest with Apple. Also Google to a lesser extent, but their main ire is against Apple right now. And so there was an update on the mobile version of Fortnite last week that they released. They kind of stealth released this, and it allows players to buy V-Bucks and other microtransactions inside the game. So it allowed people.
So they're bypassing getting it through Apple.
They were bypassing the 30% fee that Apple and Google institute in order to get their cut. So, what they did was they reduced the price of all the microtransactions by a significant amount because they were not paying the fee. And Apple, of course, didn't like this, and Google didn't either. Frankly, they got instant banned basically, like overnight, like the next day. They were banned. They were off the App Store. Google as well, the Play Store. They were also off the Play Store. So Fortnite has sued Apple and Google. They've started a lawsuit. And this has become a very interesting situation because Epic is kind of basically saying that they're fighting this for everybody. They're not just fighting this for themselves.
Oh my god!
I know. Let me get through the whole thing though before we pick the whole thing apart. What they're saying is that Apple and Google and companies like them have a kind of monopoly within their own store where they can do whatever they want and no one can really do anything about it. And it's true. Yeah, it's true. And
what?
So that's what they're fighting though, and they think the 30% cut that Apple and Google take is too extreme. So Apple though has bitten back in the past week and gone even further. They're closing Epic's developer account on Mac OS, and Epic has said that this is basically going to fuck over Unreal Engine on Mac. Basically, they won't be able to put updates out there. They're not going to be able to upgrade it or do anything with it because they don't have a developer account. So this has really turned ugly, and this is not, like I said, this is bigger than gaming. Like everyone's paying attention to this right now, like politically, the financial sector, like all this stuff. Like this is a really large deal. So I do want to know what you guys kind of think, though, of the basic part of it, right? Fortnite trying to circumvent the fee, and then Apple banning them, Google banning them, and then all the other stuff that I mentioned that kind of happened as like that went from there. So what do you guys think of all this?
Okay, I'll go. I'll go on this. Okay, I have positives for both,
Mhm.
or I had points for both, I would say.
Yes.
So on the point of Epic, I was reading, okay, 30%, you
Yep.
know, apparently they were saying 30% compared to like other software cuts, which is like somewhere around 3%.
Yeah.
So that is definitely a significant amount,
Yeah.
but that's it. That's all I got for Epic, because I get that, but
Yeah.
Epic's track record, and and
Yeah.
maybe I'm a bit biased against them because
Mhm.
I don't like how they steal from the Black community without compensating them.
Mm.
With those
Oh
Fortnite
yeah,
dances
with the
or whatever.
dances.
All of that is just it's cosmetic. It's pure money. And you
Mhm.
don't compensate none of these people who came up with the idea, first of all. So that's why I'm like, Epic is the people to talk. So I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't care for them, honestly. I feel like Fortnite, it was an unintentional moneymaker. Nobody, when they
Yeah.
put out Fortnite, they didn't know that Fortnite was going
No,
to take off like
Fortnite.
it was.
Yeah, Fortnite was fucking nothing. It was a
It
game
was
they were
nothing.
struggling, like when because they were trying to make it a tower defense game, and the battle royale was like a happy accident. They decided to do it, and it fucking took off.
Right,
Like
because I remember that. I don't know if Fortnite still actually has
No,
a
it
story
it
still
mode.
has
does.
it. It still
Save the
has it.
World is still there, but they don't do anything with it. They don't update it. They've done nothing with it for years. Like
Right,
it.
because all they do is focus on the battle royale,
Right.
which has gotten them so much money. And I just think to myself, they are the people. And but on the part of Apple and Google, like, it's their store. How you gonna tell me what I can charge in my store? And it's not a
Right.
monopoly, because there are other companies.
Yeah.
Like, if you
Right.
feel that way, go to Amazon. They just
Yeah.
start up gaming. If that's how you feel. Like, so I just think it's on the part of Epic being greedy, and because what did you think was going to happen? This
Oh
is
yeah, I know.
like, what did you think was going to happen the
Yeah.
minute they figured out that you was circumventing them? Essentially, you're stealing from them because
Yeah.
you're using their platform,
Right.
but you're not compensating them. This is how you compensate them, is by when they buy microtransactions through Apple. Apple gets a cut, Epic gets the rest, and
Yeah.
that's what happens. Like, if I allow you to use my platform, I'm gonna take a cut. That's just business anywhere.
Right.
So if you're trying to cheat me, because that's what Epic is trying to do, they're trying to cheat Apple and Google
Yeah.
by circumventing that microtransaction through the actual Google and Apple. Then you're stealing. So what did
Yeah.
you think was gonna happen?
Right.
Yeah.
Montrell, what do you
And
think?
Epic is greedy. So yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with her point on Epic being greedy. There's nothing that nobody can really do about that, because several people have tried to take them to court, and they've all lost. I guess the courts said that dancing is not, you can't trademark a dance or copyright a dance.
Yeah.
And that's a lie, because it's intellectual property.
Yeah, and I don't know why you can't. I know Soulja Boy got the super crank that he got that copywritten, but I don't know how, but he did. But so I don't know. Maybe after that case,
Epic
like
had better lawyers.
yeah.
That's it.
So
The law is all about loopholes.
So I do agree with that, because I believe that one dance that's like going around on Twitter right now, that's going to be on Fortnite pretty soon.
Oh, I know what.
Yeah, that meme dance.
Yeah.
So, and it's cringy to see all that stuff happen. So I mean, I'm in the middle. I'm not really on anyone's side. The people I do feel bad for in this whole entire situation right now is indie developers on both sides.
Yeah.
So
the ones who use Unreal Engine and stuff.
Yeah, the ones who use Unreal Engine, and the ones who are on Apple, who put their apps on the Apple and Google Play Store, because they get fucked over by that 30%. I mean, if they make $2, you know what I'm saying, like that Apple's taking 30% of that shit.
60 cents.
So yeah,
I will agree with that.
Yeah, so I see where Epic is trying to go with that, saying that, oh, well, we're fighting this for the little guys and all this shit like that.
They're not fighting for the little guys.
I know, and that's what I'm saying. And that's what I'm saying. Like,
effect, but you're not fighting for the little guys.
Yeah, they're just using that as like as like a shield or whatever the fuck.
They want to seem like the
They
hero
want to seem like they want to do what I want to say. Who else is doing this? But like, you know, they want to destroy something, then try to save it at the last minute and try to make themselves like the hero. But,
who else is doing that?
I'm not gonna say it, but why not? Because it's political, and I don't feel like giving it political. But so in that aspect, yes. So, but on the other side of that, I did like do some more research on this, and I actually found videos of them actually live streaming them, I guess either the senators or somebody, the congressmen or senators or whatever, was talking to Apple, and this was like earlier, or maybe it was recent rather. But he asked them, and I agree with the question: what prevents you guys from raising the thing to 50%? What prevents you guys from raising to 60%? Hell, 70%. 80%. If y'all want to go 90%, y'all can do that. The only thing y'all can't do is do 100%. But if y'all wanted to go that high, you can, because there really isn't. And then Google can follow suit. You know what I'm saying? So
but neither one of them would, because who would put things out? Now all of a sudden people will back out in droves.
But if these are the only two app stores that are available to us. You know what I'm saying?
Well, Google's a little bit more complicated because Android's an open platform.
I was just about to say that. So you can sideload. They even have instructions on the Fortnite website how to sideload stuff onto your phone if you have an Android platform.
Well, not just that. There's other stores on Android. Like Samsung has their own store. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
right?
That's true.
I get what you're talking
about. Apple is a fully closed platform. You can't do anything. You can't sideload apps. You can't use another store. There's none of that shit on Apple. So
I get that, but it's not a trust busting thing. Like there are Apple and Google themselves are their own competitions. Like you know, it's not so. You know, that's where you can't say. Now, if it was Apple who was just dominating like that, and then Google didn't have a chance, and none
technically they do have a monopoly on their own platform. I mean,
what is their own platform? Like,
I get that, and that's what I'm saying. That's what the other guy was saying. That's what I don't know who he was, a lawyer or senator. He was talking to the actual CEO of Apple though. It had to be recently because they were actually live streaming with each other. They weren't in a courtroom face to face because of COVID. But he actually asked him that, and the guy, I mean, I forgot the CEO's name. What's his name? The new CEO of Apple?
I don't know his name.
Yeah, well, I know he's the CEO. He took over Steve Jobs' position when he passed. But he was saying that we're not going to do that. We have things in place for that won't happen and things of that nature. But realistically, there's nothing stopping them from doing that. And I understand why Epic took that. Why Epic is doing. I mean, Epic is being greedy, but I understood like other people's concerns. Like, what's stopping you guys from going to 75%? What's stopping you guys from doing that? So I think it does need to be addressed.
But nobody said that was Steam.
When you said what?
Well, okay, yeah. So I was gonna say,
and Valve was charging 30%.
They still are, and so
nobody said anything about
that.
But the Epic Store came out.
Okay, but there's a Google store, and then there's an Amazon store. You can take your business to Amazon. There's there's stores, even if it's on less popular platforms, there are options, and that's what people say when they talking about trust busting or whatever. I can't be a monopoly if there are other options. Take your fan base to other options. If there are other options, they're not as popular as Google or Apple. But there are other options.
It's an interesting thing because Fortnite it's not on Steam, but it is on PlayStation Network and Xbox Live, which are both closed networks as well that charge 30%. They take a 30% cut too. Now, I will say there is a difference between those and what Apple has and what Google has, because they're gaming devices, and frankly, from Sony's side, they kind of have to take 30%. If they don't, they wouldn't be able to function as a company. Like, that is a huge part of their revenue. So, whereas with Apple, like it's a huge part of their revenue, but it could be 15% and they'd probably be fine.
You're saying because Apple's main thing isn't gaming.
Yeah, well, the thing they do other stuff besides their phones, right? They have their hardware that they sell outside of phones. Then they sell the phones themselves too. It's like they have a lot of revenue streams, right? Whereas PlayStation and Xbox, I mean, I know Xbox is tied to Microsoft, so it's a little different with them. But let's just talk about PlayStation, right? PlayStation is a game, like that is like primarily Sony's biggest cash cow at this point is their gaming division. And actually, Nintendo's an even better example because they have a 30% cut too. They are exclusively a gaming company. So it's like, I understand it with that. So I can see why Epic didn't bring them into this.
But 30%
situation.
obviously is the norm. That's
It is.
probably why.
Which is why Epic's fighting it.
Charging 30% because they're like,
And
everybody else is charging 30%.
They already have a history of fighting this, though, right? The Epic Games Store was their attempt to do this with Steam, and they did it with market share, right? They're trying to do it by taking some of the market share away from Steam.
Yeah,
they can't do that. They can't do that in the phone market. So I get where they're coming from, but I also get where Apple and Google are coming from too.
Yeah.
I'm kind of in the middle on this. I don't, because it's like a bunch of billion-dollar companies fighting each other. I don't really have a stake in this. But
I think we have a stake in it simply. Well, no, never mind. I take that back. We don't have a stake in it because none of us games on Mac. So Unreal Engine on Mac,
well, it's not just gaming. So this is the issue I have with Apple. Like, this is my main issue. Keep it within that stratosphere. Like, don't make it a big. They made it a big deal now.
Well,
like,
they did the childish thing of reacting and hitting back against Epic. Like,
super childish. I think that's what I will say.
The Unreal Engine part is a really like underhanded tactic.
It was
like,
definitely below the belt.
Yeah,
there are a lot of developers.
Yeah, banning Fortnite, free game. They have absolute right to do that because. Yeah, because Epic did the low blow. Because the thing is, this goes back years, right? They tried to negotiate with Apple and Google to lower that percentage, and it failed. Neither company budged, and they ended up just acquiescing at a certain point. Because remember, when Fortnite got big, it actually was not on mobile for a while. It wasn't on either store for quite a while.
I didn't even know you could play Fortnite on the iPhone.
Yeah.
iPhone, I think, came out a year and a half ago or so, but I think Google Play is much more recent. It wasn't on Play for a while. And so they've been fighting this for quite a while. I think something finally broke with them between between these three companies, but their decision to try and do their own underhanded tactic of circumventing the pay model and having payments directly through the game, that's below the belt too. That was their below the belt. This has gotten ugly.
Basically, Apple was saying that Epic got disrespectful first.
Right, which I think that's true. I do think that's true.
That is true. However, approaching this from a developer standpoint, the developers have nothing to do with this. Mm-hmm. In my opinion, this is all like, and I'm not even talking about Epic developer. I'm not talking about Epic developers. I'm talking about indie people who do all their art on Mac computers, and they put it in the engine on Mac computers because you can use the Unreal Engine to do stuff, to render stuff. It's not just a gaming engine. You can do a lot of different things on it. So
there's also a store isn't there a store in Unreal 2 that like you can get like assets and stuff?
Yeah, you can get assets and stuff like that. Yeah. So from an indie developer side, if you're in the clear cut middle of production of your game right now, and you have a deadline to meet, and they just cut it, that's unfair. Like,
I didn't
that
even
has
think
nothing.
about that.
I would say that those people are definitely the collateral damage.
That's unfair, collateral. That's what I'm getting. That's what I'm getting at, though. I mean, I can't say the game is the game with this one because you have to be smarter about your business model. Because now I'm gonna go, when this happens again, if I'm doing another platform, if I'm a smart developer, I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna use Windows from now on because they don't have a history of doing this shit.
This kind of goes back to both your points, though. Like Tiara's point about using another platform. What you just brought up, Montrell, is a really good example of like they can't do that. Like, developers don't use multiple platforms to develop a game. They pick one and they develop their game on that platform. That's
exactly
what they do. And to transfer all that work over to another one, like going from Mac to Windows, that's probably not a small undertaking. And if you're a small studio, say less than 10 people, that's gonna fuck you up. You know, it's gonna fuck your timeline up.
The game is a game for the people who damage.
Yeah, but it's an important point to bring up,
right?
Though,
but
because...
I'm saying that from the side of Apple, Apple is saying, and Apple and Google, they're saying, you know, we have to make this hard line stance here because if Epic wins, it's the floodgates are going to open. Now everybody's going to be like, all right, 20%, 15%, 10%. The floodgates are going to open. If I'm Apple, I got to protect my bottom line.
I think taking Fortnite was a significant blow. I think from the
So
developers,
you're saying the Unreal Engine, that's just like
doing the
killing
developer
the
account.
game.
Yeah, doing the developer account thing was a nuke option, in my opinion. Yes, you just did. You just nuked the entire city. Yeah, you just nuked the entire city to hit one target, and a lot of people did not know what the fuck is going on. So if I'm working, if I'm rendering, if I'm doing a movie, like if I'm doing anything in Unreal, I am shut down now because y'all, Apple decided to be whatever and say, you know, we're just gonna nuke everything, and they didn't think about the consequences of this. And
well, they don't care. And that's
another point too.
I don't think it's that they didn't think about it. I think what happened was they understood what was going to happen, but they thought that it was a reasonable sacrifice. Yeah. It was a reasonable sacrifice in a war against Epic.
So that's where and this is another side to that argument too. That comes back on the consumer as well. The consumer has to be educated now and to think, you have all this knowledge that just happened to you. My Epic has gotten, say I'm an Apple user and say I was streaming, say I'm a popular streamer and I'm a mobile Fortnite streamer, right? I'm like the top mobile Fortnite streamer. So that's taken away from me. And let's say I'm also rendering and doing other stuff in Unreal on my Mac computer. So that just got taken away from me. Now, like both streams of my income are gone because Apple decided to do this. Well, so they don't for the consumer side. I feel like us as consumers should be looking at this because this is basically like what we were talking about with digital games. I mean, it's, like I said, this is not going to happen in digital games, but God forbid, they just decide to fucking take, Call of Duty off everything.
It could though. That's the thing about it. If Activision Blizzard goes under and no one buys the IP, guess what? Those games are going bye-bye. Yeah. This isn't like movies. This is not like movies. There's no
digitally downloaded anyway to play it, so it would never matter if you had the disc or not.
Yeah.
But you need to be digitally downloaded anyways, which is why I don't have the disc because I don't understand. I got to download the game anyways, so it makes no sense for me to have the disc.
Those individuals though, the consumers on iOS who play Fortnite, like I do feel for them because I'm pretty sure the game's already off, like the store. You can't even play it. Like you can play the current version of the game as long as it doesn't get updated. You won't be able to get any updates for the game.
You couldn't do it.
Yeah, so they're like completely fucked. Like if you don't have another device to play Fortnite on, you're fucked.
But they took the developer license away, so you can't develop on this on Mac at all.
But I'm just talking about Fortnite on mobile, dude. Like think about, there's probably millions of people that play Fortnite on mobile. On iOS, and now they can't. They have to go to a different device, and if you don't have another device, you can't play Fortnite. Like you have to play this. You have to play an unupdated version of Fortnite. Like all these updates are going out and shit.
It's like moved to the mobile, already played Fortnite on another platform, anyways.
Yeah, but that's not a guarantee, though. What if you're a kid? You don't have another device. Like it's
a child.
I mean it's fucked up.
Yeah, but
I don't know. This whole situation is ugly. This is ugly as hell. This is ugly.
I don't really care. I'll be honest. I don't really care about the gamer side of it. I more so care about the developer side. I feel like it's really fucked up. Like to just strip the developer license for no.
I think the whole thing is, man.
The entire thing is fucked up
because Epic doesn't care either. That's the thing. Epic's willing to sacrifice all the people on iOS in order to make this point. Like they don't care about that user base. Like they pretend they do with their whole like hashtag free Fortnite campaign and their little fucking 1984 advertisement, all that shit. Like, yeah, that's real cute, but you guys clearly don't care about your iOS customers because if you did, you wouldn't have done this because they went with the nuclear option too, dude. Like that. This is the thing. They both shot nukes at each other. Like it's not like one side is like kind of worse in this situation. I think they're both like they have both used underhanded tactics.
Epic hit first.
Yeah.
But my thing is Epic has supporters, and from other like app developers, like what's that comicology where you get the comics from or whatever?
Spotify has supported them. Comixology.
You can't buy comics directly through the app either for the same reason. Like they don't want, because see, like you were saying before, 30% off of like I think most
off
comics
off a dollar is 30 cents.
yeah, so off I think most comics are like $2 to $3. So 30%, of that is like a significant amount of money. So I get it.
Yeah.
If you are a small developer, or if you are a developer that your microtransactions are really small, then I can see it. If I think to myself, well, I can't say King because I feel like Candy Crush makes such a lot of money, so I can't really say King, but
they do.
But they can afford it. But that's what I think about. But to Apple's standpoint, if I let one person do it, all y'all gonna do it. The precedent has been set by Epic. Now, I feel like Epic and Apple should have handled this off books, and it would have been best for both companies.
I think they tried, though. I think they tried.
They did try, and I felt like they should have tried harder because now look at the mess.
I know. This is going to be hard to clean up. Like,
it's going to be hard to clean up.
Yeah, just putting shit back on the App Store is not going to really fix this. Like,
it's not going to fix it because it's just like when somebody betrays you. Like, you could take the knife on my back, but the wound is still there.
Right.
It's like trust has been broken on both sides.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I guess it's I understand y'all both saying like is.
Well, I was gonna say to your point, I'm with you with the developers. Like,
I mean, I'm with you too, dude.
I think that's way bigger nuke than because they had nothing to do with this, right? Like they had literally zero.
It's true. This is like a side swipe, like a drive by, dude. Like
this is already articles of developers saying like, "Yo, my project is." I just looked it up. It's developers like saying my project is stopped dead in the water because I can't do anything now. Like this was like if it was just gaming, I would be like, yeah, they Epic used a nuke and then Apple returned fire with their nuke. But this Apple's nuke was way bigger. Like it was just an unnecessary nuke. They could have been cool with just taking all their games off of the Apple's App Store or whatever. But to say developer kits is done, like you're just like there are people who are working out their basement with this shit and they can't do anything now. Like,
but what's even crazier?
That's so fucked up to me.
What's even crazier is that I feel like kicking taking the thingy away, the what was it called, the developer program access away. I feel like that came first and then Fortnite was gone.
No, it was the other way around. Fortnite came first. Fortnite came first, and then Apple decided they went a step further, and they first they took it off the App Store, and then they went a step further. I don't know what made them trigger that.
Oh, I know what happened. So they took it off the App Store, and then Epic filed their lawsuit.
Yeah, and then Apple triggered that, and they were like, "Well, we're just gonna nuke everything else." And it's like, why don't we just counter offer like counter sue?
The development account for Epic happened like yesterday or the day before. Like it's very recent. So
yeah, so that's
here's my question. So what is it that about Google that this fight is just between Apple and Epic?
Well, it's not between just Epic and
they brought Google into it.
The lawsuits and stuff, like the tit for tat.
They're against both. The lawsuit is against both of them, Apple and Google. It's just it's not as big of a deal with Google because of the platform that Android is. Like
nobody's really developing on like an Android platform. So
Right. And the fact that you can have your own store, you can side load the game, it's not as big of a deal. People can still play on Android devices because of that. So they can still update the game as well through Android.
What I will say is what should come from this is a ruling in Epic's favor on the part of retaliation. And that's what I think there should be some type of law against. You should not be able to retaliate it like that. It's like workplace retaliation. Like somebody do something and they retaliate. Like it's a reason why that's illegal in the workplace. I think to myself, it's no way, and this is clearly retaliatory.
Right. It's weird that they can just do something like this and just fuck over a bunch of people.
And I think it's even more weird because I think to myself, don't these companies sign contracts with each other? Like Like
Right.
Epic didn't even violate no terms of code of violations or whatever, no terms of
That's
agreement.
true.
It's
There's
just
definitely
it's clearly retaliatory, and I'm thinking so.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking to myself. Like, if Epic wins, that should definitely.
There's damages there.
I don't think either side is going to win. I mean, I think it's going to come down to a mediator, and then they're going to come, and compromise. But I think, something should be done about that.
I definitely think some legislation should come up with this.
That's what I'm saying. In terms of legislation, something should be done about, business retaliation, because the Apple should not have been allowed to do that.
Well, because when Epic got their development account, I'm sure there was some agreement that they signed with Epic. I mean, with Apple rather, and that like Apple just voided it and said "fuck you," like whatever, you're done. Like that part of it is kind of the fucked up part. Is like the person who makes the contract and just do whatever the fuck they want. Like, no, that's not how it works. Like. So I'm kind of with you on that. That definitely there's going to be fallout there. I'm sure there might be.
Maybe it was some kind of loophole where Epic was like, okay, well, we can
it's almost always. It's definitely a loophole. That's
maybe it was some kind of loophole where Epic was like, okay, well, we can actually just build in and transactions within our own, game or whatever without going through the App Store or whatever. And that part, I 100% agree with Apple and Google. Like, no, you made an agreement with me. 30% if you're on my store, 30%. Straight up facts. That's non-debatable. Like, I am not debating that. I just think point this drive home. I just think that nuclear option that Apple did was totally unjustified. They should get sued for that. Like, other development studios, even indie developers should
that's what I'm saying.
Get together and hire a lawyer and sue the fuck out of Apple, because that is totally unfair.
They're gonna have to. Yeah, they're gonna have to, because if this drags out, they're like I said, they're fucked. Like, they're gonna have to move their work to another platform.
Yeah,
and that's not gonna be easy.
A long time. And sometimes you have files and stuff like that only work on one platform. So they may be the same platform, but the file type is different because of the platform. So that's like if Microsoft was having some kind of battle with somebody and they're like, well, you know what? We're shutting down all Windows, and 90% of the world uses Windows in the workplace. That will fuck everybody over. You're like,
right.
Like, it's just not fair. So I think Apple should have thought about that option before they did
it.
Linux. Good luck with that.
Yeah, but I just want to ask you guys what you think about Epic's little kind of advertising campaign about this, where they're using hashtags and they had their little commercials.
They're being disingenuous.
I think they're definitely being disingenuous, but again, the game is a game. Like,
it is the game, but they don't.
I know, but they're trying to mobilize. They're trying to mobilize the public against Apple. Like,
but that's what I'm about to say. Like, clearly, with the age of social media, the court of public opinion is, everything.
That's true.
Yeah. So the game is the game. Like, I'm gonna use every strategy. If I'm Epic, I already know I'm going against a titan in Apple. I'm gonna use every single strategy I got available, disingenuous or not, whether I'm lying or not. I'm gonna use every strategy available because I'm at a disadvantage. I'm the underdog in the situation. Yeah. Apple's the head honcho in charge, so I have to go to battle against Apple, and it probably will honestly be a long drawn out battle, considering what was first fired. Like, neither side is going to back down now. So
the stakes here are huge. This could completely change the way the mobile market works.
This is going to drag out.
Like, this could change digital marketplaces like everywhere, like not just on mobile. Like, it could be on PC. Everything. It could change consoles. Like this is a huge deal. This is going
to drag out. I need all my weapons.
This legitimately, we've been doing this podcast for almost 2 years, and I almost want to say, I can say with confidence, this is the biggest story we've ever covered. I think, like, the ramifications that this could have are ridiculously huge. Like, this could change everything with digital marketplaces. So we'll be monitoring it 100%.
But see, Epic filed a trust-busting lawsuit against Apple and Google. And honestly, if they win, I wouldn't be too mad, because some of these companies do be too big. Like Facebook, Amazon, these companies are huge.
Yeah.
And so if what comes from that is some breaking up some trust, I'm all for it.
Yeah. Fair enough. I mean, I've always argued that Valve should make Steam like a subsidiary, like make its own company and make it a subsidiary, because they're like two different things, right? Valve, the developer, versus Steam, like it's two different things. Whereas Apple, you can make the same argument, right? Like Apple, it has a hardware side of the company and some software stuff, but like the iOS side and the phone side is like a completely different thing. You know, it's like I don't know. So we'll see what comes of it.
But then also Epic is saying that, Apple treats iOS differently than it does Mac OS.
Yeah.
That it's way more restrictive for whatever reason on iOS than it is on Mac.
Yeah. Which I think is true.
And they're saying that Apple intentionally sabotages the consumer on iOS specifically because of how restrictive it is.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I think all that would be this lawsuit this whole situation is bringing out that like they just have way too much power. Even if there is their own platform, there should be some kind of.
Remember, Apple lost the suit a couple years ago about how they intentionally were sabotaging people's iPhones to make them go buy a new one. Like they made the OS not work on older models of iPhones because they wanted people to go buy a new iPhone after like 2 years. You know, so Apple's definitely like not on the up and up with this shit. So I'm definitely not on their side, but
I mean, I'm not on anybody's side. I think both companies are being childish. I think fucking Epic is being super disingenuous with their whole campaign and free Fortnite and woe is me. I am not the billionaire company.
ATVs around here illegally.
Woe is me and everything like that. And I think from that standpoint, they're being super disingenuous. I think I actually was on Apple's side until they did this. Like I was like, well, they're in the right. Like Epic, you can't make unless you make your own platform or own store, you have no say so in this. Like, I'm sorry, bro. Like you can't do anything. Yeah. So
well, I would say well, go ahead and then I'll say that one.
No, I was gonna say so, but when they did the developer thing, they completely lost me on that side. So I think from that standpoint, even if a good lawyer will attack it from that angle, if the lawyer convinces the judge or the mediator or whoever, like, yo, they not only fucked us over, but they fucked over millions of fucking thousands of fucking indie developers and other studios using this fucking platform. Apple's automatic. I don't think they're automatically going to lose, but they're going to lose a lot of leverage, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so then go back to my points earlier. I was, when I was saying about the terms and conditions or whatever. And so I'm sitting here and I'm reading Apple their statements, their individual statements about why they removed Fortnite from the App Store or whatever. And they're saying that they're just saying that a blanketed statement. It was like violating the App Store guidelines. But it's just they don't say specifically which guideline it was.
Yeah, right. They never do though. They never do.
But in this case, Epic was dead wrong, and they definitely violated. If you try to circumvent paying me, you dead wrong. Yeah, you got to go. But then, like Montrell said, like it's the Unreal Engine part that's where Apple loses the moral high ground, because you just aired everybody out for what?
Just to get back at him.
Just to get back
basically. At him. Yeah, it's just it's like a petty just punch back, basically. So yeah, it's an interesting story. This is extremely fascinating.
Definitely follow.
Right. And if we get an update on this, whenever we do, we will definitely be talking about it here on this podcast. So, all right, let's move on. We got a couple more things to get through here before the end of the show. July MPD actually came out. This is kind of early for the month, but we got them already. So let's go through some statistics here on the video game industry. So total video game sales for July 2020 was 3.587 billion versus 2.723 billion last year. And then video game hardware was 166 million, actually down from 170 million last year, only a 2% difference. And then video game content. So this is a new thing for MPD. they're combining the game sales with DLC and microtransactions and subscriptions as well, all into this one category. So video game content sales for July were 3.251 billion versus 2.426 billion, 34% increase. And then video game accessories, 170 million versus 127 million last year, also a 34% increase. Our pandemic numbers continue to go strong, I guess. The only thing that really was down was hardware, which, given how close we are to the consoles at this point, it's not surprising. I mean, this was going to happen eventually. But game sales in general are just, I mean, they're going crazy. This is some of the best numbers that the industry's had, period.
I mean, part of that's also because of the pandemic.
Yeah, right. COVID's definitely gotten people to buy more games. So in terms of top 20 games for the month, Ghost of Tsushima, number 1.
Oh, yes.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare, number 2. Paper Mario, The Origami King, number 3. And note, that is without digital sales being included. Number 4, Last of Us Part 2. So I'm going to be honest here and say that all those people saying this game sales fell off, that clearly isn't true. Number 5, Animal Crossing New Horizons. Number 6, Ring Fit Adventure. Number 7, Mortal Kombat 11. Wow. Number 8, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Number 9, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Number 10, Sword Art Online Alicization Lycoris. Number 11, Minecraft PlayStation 4 Edition. 12, Zelda Breath of the Wild. 13, Rainbow Six Siege. 14, New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, which is the port of the Wii U game that is on Switch. Number 15, MLB The Show 20. Number 16, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Number 17, Need for Speed Heat. Number 18, Marvel Spider-Man. Number 19, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. And then number 20, Call of Duty Black Ops 3. Anything sticking out there for you guys? I mean, Ghost of Tsushima being number 1, very impressive.
Black Ops 3?
Yeah, wait, you said Black Ops 3?
That's number 20. Yep. Number 20.
4.
Was that on Game Pass or something?
I mean, it wouldn't count if it was. So
it wouldn't count.
people are buying it. Well, think about it. This new Call of Duty, right, is supposed to be a Black Ops game. It actually hasn't been revealed. We did say it was a couple weeks ago. It hasn't actually been officially revealed yet, but I think it's a Black Ops game. So people might be buying Black Ops 3 in anticipation of that, maybe, I guess. That would be my guess.
Okay. I mean...
And Paper Mario, for me, being number 3, just kind of shows the power of the Switch. Paper Mario has never been like a giant franchise.
I love Paper Mario.
I do too, but I was not expecting this game to have these kind of sales numbers. I mean, we don't know the exact numbers, but I mean, 3rd on this list that's got to be.
I've been seeing a lot of people tweet about it. So I mean, yeah, I didn't know Paper Mario was as big, but a lot of people have been tweeting about this game and sharing stuff, and yeah, so
yeah. Best-selling games of the year total for the whole year, top 10. Call of Duty Modern Warfare, number 1. Animal Crossing New Horizons is 2. So I think we talked about this when we talked about June's numbers. Animal Crossing is probably number 1. This doesn't include digital sales, like I said, and we know for a fact Nintendo has told us that the game has sold 22 million copies through June. So I doubt Call of Duty has sold that many in this year, but maybe they have. I don't know. Number 3, Last of Us Part 2. Number 4, Final Fantasy VII Remake. Number 5, Ghost of Tsushima. Number 6, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. Number 7, MLB The Show 20. Number 8, Resident Evil 3. Number 9, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
I'm so tired of this game.
And then number 10 is Mortal Kombat 11, dude. That game came out last year in
I keep trying to tell
April.
You the new but Aftermath just came out like a month or 2.
Oh, that's right. You did say that.
Like a couple months ago.
That's right. You did say that.
I didn't know there was gonna be fans of Mortal Kombat. Damn.
I know, me either, dude.
Man, Mortal Kombat 11 is really good.
Yeah, it must be.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like I just didn't know that.
I know
it is a casual fighter. A lot of people play it casually too, compared to other fighters.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And Last of Us Part 2 being number 3, that further dispels the idea that this game's not selling. Like it's probably already eclipsed 10 million copies straight up. So Yeah, and Ghost of Tsushima being 5, this game, to me, I think is going to actually climb this list over the next couple
They
months.
said it's the PlayStation's
Best selling new IP that they've ever had, straight up. So that does mean it's not like they weren't counting it against like God of War or The Last of Us 2 or existing franchises. They were comparing it to like Horizon, Spider-Man, stuff like that.
Yeah, Days Gone, Death Stranding.
Days Gone, right? Yeah, Death Stranding, right? Things like that. So just to put that in context for everybody. Yeah, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot being 6. I'm actually surprised it's still hanging on at that number. Like that game must have really sold well, like really well. It's kind of crazy to me because the game's good, but it's like it's not that good. I don't know. I'm like, this is like it's. This is
I tell you, I really think this happens. I think it's the thing of I see numbers, I see games selling, and I'm like, okay,
it must be good.
It must be good, so I'm gonna buy it.
I'm gonna go buy it.
I'm contributing to the sales, and that's what I think really happens.
Yeah, I think you're right. I do think this is kind of a snowball effect. Like Animal Crossing, definitely has this. Where
only bought Animal Crossing because everybody else had it. That's literally, and I said, okay, I got to see what this game is about, and that's actually I didn't even buy it, but I only got it bought for me because of that. Everybody's playing Animal Crossing. If like outside of that, I would have never like wanted the game.
Montrell, I'm almost proud of us. Like you and I have resisted the temptations of Animal Crossing.
Well, that's because I put like 100 hours in Animal Crossing on the GameCube, so I'm like done with the franchise.
This is not a new game.
No, it is like the third game.
No, this is a new. What?
No, you saying this is not a new game like a new
this is not a new IP. That's what I'm saying.
No, this IP been around since the GameCube.
This is new to me. I thought it was a brand new.
No, there's been I think 4 Animal Crossing games.
Oh wow.
This is the 4th one. So yeah, no, this is a long existing franchise. It's been around for like, I don't know, 17 years, 16, 17 years.
And they all speak Animal Crossing?
Yeah, well, the GameCube one, like, Tom Nook's been in every one of them, and I think Isabel's been in every one of them. Like, there's recurring characters. Yeah. So, but yeah, I don't know. It's just, I think it's just like a thing the game doesn't appeal to me, like the what you're doing in the game. So.
Yeah, you're working yourself out of debt. So
right, it's like I'm already doing that. I do that in my real life every day. I don't need to do that in video games.
Working yourself out of debt.
Yeah. So the first game you move in. So the very first game, you move into a town, and then Tom Nook is like, "Hey, yo, you want a place to stay?" And you like, "Yeah." He's like, "All right, 999 bills." You're like, "What the fuck?" And he buys you a house, and you live in that house, and then you got to do stuff to like work off your debt, and that's it.
You know what? You know what it is? You know what it is?
Basically, you're an indentured servant.
Yeah, basically. No, you know what it is though? I bet it's the fact that all of us millennials, right? We're like so far away from paying all our debt off that we want to actually do it. And this game can let us achieve that. Achieve the idea of paying our debt off.
Like slaves trying to get what's the turnips or whatever.
Yeah.
How much is your turnip selling for on your island? Like, I need to sell these turnips. Like addicts.
Oh my god! No, it's funny. It's very funny.
It's like a drug war for turnips.
I honestly have not played no more than like a couple hours of Animal Crossing.
Okay.
I just can't get into it.
It's fun to watch though. It's funny. It's just like what I'm saying though. Like I'm already paying debt off in my real life. I don't need to do it in a video game. I'm good.
But people were like, that's so funny though. The whole game is around you being an indentured servant.
Yep, basically. Tom Nook's a piece of shit. Like he's a fucking asshole. Like it's kind of funny that it's like a cutesy little Nintendo game, but yeah, it's like it's got like literally what he is. Like it's like a really dark kind of setting, I guess, like around the whole thing. It's like, but it's like these cutesy little chibi characters, Yeah,
it's pretty. I mean, when I played it, like I said, I was young, so I had time to play it, and I just played the fuck out of it. honestly,
I just love the idea a bunch of millennial, like 13-year-olds playing Animal Crossing, and it's like you don't know what you're in for, kid. This is your future.
Yeah, at the time I was playing, I'm like, oh, this is real. Like, I'm not gonna fucking take out a loan for that much money and not be able to pay it off. But lo and behold, here
a
we are.
loan for a TV. Who does that? Oh, everybody. Oh yeah.
So yeah, I played it like on the summer. It was like the end of the summer game I played. And I played it, and I played the fuck out of it because I had nothing else to play. But besides that, I never picked up another Animal Crossing game because I kind of knew what the franchise was about. But everybody else liked it, so I mean, I'm glad they like it. And they especially with this one, the first one I played did not have online capabilities, so it's probably a whole different experience playing with other people. You know what I'm saying? So
right, yeah, people can come to your island now. And, like, fuck with your shit or help you or whatever.
Yeah, so I think that's really cool. But as far as me though, like I did not want to jump back into the franchise because, like I said, I already poured so much money into it. I mean, not money, but the time into it. So
right, I don't need a time suck like that. All right, cool. Let's move on. We got a couple more stories here. So we talked about Baldur's Gate. I think it was last week or the week before. It got delayed out of August. Well, they've announced, Larian's announced that it's actually the early access is going to be coming on September 30th. That is the hope right now. It's not set in stone, but that's the current date for that. So if you're looking forward to that game, hopefully we'll be able to get our hands on it soon. And then this was announced today. Deathloop from Arcane is getting delayed into next year, Q2 2021. This is a shame. I was looking forward to this game, but frankly, I'm actually kind of happy about it. This actually makes it more likely that I play it.
Yeah.
So I'm cool with it. But were you guys looking forward to this game?
I was too, but I just have like a little hot take.
Mm-hmm.
My hot take is they're gonna make the girl lighter skinned. Like they probably did like some type of what you call it, survey on the game or something like that with their playtesters. Like, oh, the character's skin should be a little bit lighter. They probably gonna do that shit. I think so. Like
that would be ridiculous.
If that happens, I think that's what's gonna happen, and I'm gonna be so disappointed if they do that shit. I'm joking, but I have seen it happen in certain video games and stuff like that where character skins get lighter.
You think it's just gonna low key happen? They're not gonna mention it. It's just gonna happen.
Someone's gonna put up a comparison video like, look at the skin of the character now, and then look at it back then when the trailer first came out. So
yeah.
Hopefully that doesn't happen. I'm trolling. Hopefully.
Yeah. Tiara, were you interested in this game at all?
So I was just thinking, on PS2, I beat a Baldur's Gate game, and I can't remember what it was. Nor can I really remember what it was really about.
So
but I remember me thinking it was good though.
Oh, there was a oh my god, you're like making me think about this because there was a Baldur's Gate game, I think, in that generation on consoles that was not like the other games. Oh, god, I can't remember it though. It was something weird. Yeah, it was Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance. That was what it was called. And it actually, it looks like, yeah, this was on Xbox as well. It was a CRPG, or at least it looks that way. I'm looking at it right now. It was a CRPG, but it was like a console CRPG. So interesting. I wonder if this was any good. You said it was?
For what I remember.
Of course, I haven't even actually played Baldur's Gate, the original, beyond like a few hours. So I should probably do that. I have them both on Switch. I should just do it. But, old game is old, man. Don't have time for that shit anymore. So, all right, cool. Well, that's all we got this week. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about before we go?
Yes. I would like to. Why are you laughing?
I mean, I'm asking the question generally, Montrell. Why are you laughing, dude? Like, you don't get to bring anything up. All right, you're the worst gamer on this show. So, Tiara, go ahead.
Yes. So, I would like to update my stance on Apple versus Epic.
Okay.
I am now Team Epic only because I think about the ramifications that could happen, the positive ramifications that could happen for the developer/gaming community if Epic wins. Because I think to myself, this might force the iOS system to be more open, and which means that more developers can develop on it. They can do more things on it. So
that's good for everybody.
And then also Google as well. Like I'm just thinking to myself, like this could have positive ramifications. You know, I mean, I like Epic.
It can ripple across the whole digital landscape.
But that's what I'm saying. But if they win, you know, it's a positive thing. So
well, I'm with you because if Apple wins, that's a point for capitalism, like that you can do whatever you want, and I don't know if that's good for us. Like that's definitely not good
as a consumer.
Listen to you, commies. Commies.
Shut the fuck up. You know you agree.
I do, but still.
So yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm probably more. I lean more Epic, even though I don't like their tactics. Like I definitely want to see them be the ones to kind of come out on this. So.
All right, so I did see something though. I did want to pick y'all brains about. It was a video on YouTube, or not YouTube, but on Twitter. And how much time we got? We got a little bit of time. So.
There's no time limit. I mean,
yeah, I know I like to go to a certain mark, but we already passed our mark.
Know.
Yeah, but
it's fine. The people will, if they want to shut it off, they will.
Yeah. So I saw a video, and this guy was playing. It was one guy talking about another guy. It was a TikTok video. Mm-hmm. He was talking about why are you playing this game so seriously and competitively?
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
And
Fall Guys, right? He was talking about Fall Guys.
Yeah.
Because somebody was playing Fall Guys and they were doing the hexagon level, the one where the hexagons fall out under you after you walk on them.
He's the best player in the world in that particular game.
And yeah, he had this strategy where he was timing his jump, so he's just jumping from one hex to the other.
Yeah. Rather
than most players will run, and they will fall much faster because of that. And he was saying that, like, why are you being such a tryhard on this game? That's like, you know, it's supposed to just be a fun party game or whatever.
Yeah, and he incorporated that into all games. He said, and this is why I stopped playing all games, because everyone wants to be a tryhard, and it ruins the experience for other people. And my initial reaction was get good, but then but I thought about it too, and I'm like, I mean, that is true. There's a lot of people who want to get into video games, but they can't because it's just the games are too hard. Like some people can't wrap their mind around the twin sticks, like, you know how we have the dual sticks. They can't wrap their mind around it. So like what's come second instance to us is like, you know, that's like playing a piano for them for the first time or whatever. So it's I guess I can see it from that standpoint, but then I guess the other part I see is a lot of games like Call of Duty, Halo, League of Legends, Dota, all these games that are really competitive in nature and whatever like that, they always have a casual mode. Like they have several casual modes.
Yeah.
And then they have the ranked experience. So I mean, what's y'all take on that?
Well, I want to talk about Fall Guys specifically, and that specific game mode that he had in the video. Is that strategy the guy was using is actually, I think, something they need to change. Like that shouldn't be. I don't know. I feel like it's not in the spirit of what the game was. Maybe the developers disagree, but to me, it's like, because it was a thing when I saw him do it. I started seeing people doing it in my games on that map. And I didn't know how to do it yet, and I was like, "I have no chance. I'm not going to win because I don't know how to do this."
Stuff where you don't know how to do something.
But yeah, well, the thing was, I figured it out the next time I played the map, and then I'm like, "Oh, but now I'm like, this is the only way to win this game mode now. Like, if you don't know how to do this, you aren't winning. You will not win.
And
like
what is
because
it that you had to do?
You're basically jumping so that you're spending less time. You're not going through the hexes as fast. Like instead of running, you're jumping between them, and the jumps are like really long and like slow. Whereas running through, you could jump between two hexes in the time frame you'd run through 10. You know, and it's like that. Like I said, if you don't know how to do it, you don't know how to do the jumping and the timing of the jumps, you will lose. The only reason I'm okay with it though is that I realize there is actually a meta game within this like this strategy. That if you run at somebody who's trying to do the jump thing, they cannot react fast enough to adjust themselves. So you can kind of fuck people over by running at them and then knocking them down, and then you can do the jump thing. So it's like a meta game within the game. It's super weird. I know. So it's like that's kind of the only reason I'm okay with it, because there is a way to counter it. You know, it's not like completely unbeatable, but it's just like it is a thing though. A lot of bad players are never going to figure this out, and that one game they're never going to win it because they don't know how to do the jump. You know, they can't time the jump well enough. So it's like, and for a game like Fall Guys that is kind of supposed to just be a fun party game, like it's like that level of hyper competitiveness. I understand where the guy's coming from. It's like, this isn't COD, this isn't fucking Apex, this isn't, you know, MOBA, this isn't League of Legends or Dota. You know, it's like, it's just some stupid physics game where you're playing a fucking jelly bean that runs around like
a jelly bean.
And it's like, so I get where he's coming from, but at the same time, I get where you're coming from, Montrell.
Jelly bean, are you?
What?
You're not like that Rick and Morty jelly bean, are you?
No, you're kind of like a jelly bean looking dude with legs and arms.
Well, I guess it's like,
but
I want to say it's like a read the room situation. But
yeah,
like I understand where that streamer coming from. Like he's like, I'm streaming to win or whatever the case may be. I guess in that instance, it's like, yo, read the room. Fall Guys is just you know a party game. But then I can say that too about Super Smash Brothers. Super Smash Brothers started out as a party game, and now it's both. Like you can play that competitively, and you can play it as a party game. Same
but
thing
Fall Guys, you can't do that though because it's an online multiplayer game. Yeah, so you're gonna get thrown into lobbies with these people,
and that's, I guess that's to the developers' dismay, right? Like, I wish it was like, you know,
Fall Guys. They're gonna have to make a ranked mode, dude.
Probably. I mean, I don't think they should. But they should definitely do something about.
I think they need to change that game mode where the jumping is not as effective. Like you will fall if you try to do the jump thing, you're gonna fall. Like that. I think that's what they need to do, and just make it so that running is the way to win. You know, it's like I think that's what they have to do, but that's up to them.
I don't know. I mean, it's just like, even when you play Mario Kart 8 online, there are people who will like fucking decimate you because they have the perfect build of kart or whatever,
right?
And they know how to drift perfectly and all that shit like that.
They can take every turn exactly perfectly every time.
Exactly. So I mean, you can't escape it when you play online because it's just the game. Like Tiara said, the games, that should probably be the name of this show. The game is the game. But the game is
that's the motto of life.
That should probably be the title of this next episode. But yeah, the game is the game, as far as that, because that's what you do when you play online. I remember I played StarCraft online. I thought I was a shit. I was like, oh shit, I'm beating the fuck out of the hard AI in StarCraft. Then I went online and someone watched the fuck out of me and I had no idea what to do. I'm like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. So I think so, but this brings up to another point, because I remember this point came up a couple years ago. I don't think the entire industry should have to change for those type of people though. Like I remember at one point, everything was casual and it was just like not fun to play video games from
the late like 2010 to 2015. That was.
And I understand what that guy was saying, like, well, this makes me not want to play video games. All right, I'm sorry, bro. Tough luck. I can't help you out with that. Like, if you get this turned off by a video game, I really can't help you with that. It's like
something else. Like that's
it's like the Sekiro boys joke, right? People are like, well, this made me not want to play Ghost of Tsushima. You're an idiot. If that joke on Twitter made you not want to play a video game, then you need to get something checked, bro. I don't know what's wrong with you, but get
off Twitter and play Ghost of Tsushima. Like, I don't even care. Like, you know, they're talking about a completely different game from the one you're even fucking playing. It's like, you know, I mean, I'm with you. Like, I think there is an ugly side to the get good crowd, like for sure.
Oh yeah, it's toxic. I'm not denying that. Yeah,
it's definitely toxic. But at the same time, there's enough space for all of us to exist within gaming. Like, and there's enough games for all of us to be happy at this point. You know, get good crowd has their games. The casual crowd has their games. The people in the middle have their games. You know,
I will agree with him. I don't think Fall Guys should be a get good game. I feel like it should be a game that everyone just wants to jump on and have fun with the party chat. You know what I'm saying? But
it's already been turned into this though, dude. It's too late. The die is past. Like, this game has become very competitive. Like, and I think that it's still going to be a fun, goofy party game. But I just think there's a lot of streamers out there that are like playing it that way, you know. And honestly, the fact that we're making people are making fun of, even the Fall Guys Twitter themselves are making fun of Tim the Tatman for not winning a game. Like that is that get good kind of like thing, even though
it's like in a good spirit mentality.
I know,
good, you
I know, but it's still there though, you know. And it's like, so it's I don't know. I think it might be too late for Fall Guys. We'll see. It depends on what the developers do. They can make the game in such a way where get good is not really relevant because you can't get good, you know. But that might ruin the game though. So
yeah,
it's a give and take. So. I don't know, Tiara, did you have any other thoughts on that?
No, I was just thinking to myself, I must play this Fall Guys game.
Oh, it's so fun. You need to play it with us. Like, just download it on PlayStation.
No,
like,
I feel like I downloaded it. I want to say I downloaded it. I'm gonna go check.
Yeah, we got to do this. This game is stupid fun. Like it really is. So I highly recommend it to everybody. And if you have PS Plus, it's free this month. Like, download it this month. It's free on PS Plus. So.
And if it happens to become competitive,
yeah, that might be your competitive game. Fuck Warzone.
That's what I want to say. That might be my competitive game.
I was actually thinking about some stuff though. I kind of want to ask you guys. This became its own segment almost at the end of the show here. But I was thinking about the consoles and the fact that we don't know release dates / price yet, and we're in the middle of August. We're getting towards the end of August now, and we still don't know this. And we know the consoles are coming out literally 3 months from now. And we don't know. Are you still feeling like these consoles are coming out this year? Like, because I'm starting to question it.
PlayStation, yes. Xbox, no. I think Xbox is probably going to come out. I want them to push it all the way to next year, like next year fall. But I think they're going to do it, like you said, off mic, probably around Q2 or Q1, Q2, March, around that time. PlayStation, I think they already have their shit in the water. Like they're gonna go boots on the ground as soon as like November hits or whatever, whenever the new consoles hit or whatever. As far as me being excited for them, I'm not as excited for them as I was maybe a month ago. A month ago, I was super excited for both consoles. Now I'm really iffy on on Xbox. I'm like, I may get it first day it comes out on PS5 because just because like the games aren't really there. The only game I'm really looking forward to, like I told you, is Godfall. So
which we found out it's going to be a PlayStation exclusive for a little while.
Yeah. So, but even then, I can get that on PC, and I have a good enough PC to where I can run it, probably at high to mid range graphics. So, I mean, I can still wait on that, and then I have a whole bunch of other games backlogged. So, they may PlayStation. I don't think PlayStation's holding it back. I think Xbox though, for sure. I think they need to like push it back for real, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm not guaranteed on either one right now. I just, the fact that we don't know price is really, it's weirding me out. Like I don't understand why they're waiting so long. This is becoming like a weird thing. Like it's making me think that they don't know if they're going to hit the date yet. Like they're not sure they're committed. They're committed to the launch in November. Like I don't know, because there's no reason to wait this long. Like I get it, you want to see what the other guy says, but that at a certain point, one of you has to say something. It's just like you can't go till October and not tell us what the damn console is going to cost.
That's why I want to do like a revisionist segment, because did it take the other consoles this long to announce their prices?
They've always been announced well before the console came out. Like I think the latest is 6 months usually before the console comes out is when you get price. Like it would be like at E3 if it's coming out in November, you find out at E3 what the price is.
Okay.
So 5 or 6 months before. So yeah, that's why this is so weird. It's like that's why I keep harping on it, because it's not normal. Like this generally is not normal. I would have to do a deeper dive. I'm not sure about Nintendo. They may have done some weird shit in the past, but I'm pretty sure with Sony they've been pretty much on point for the most part, doing it in that 5 to 6 month time frame before the console comes out. So because it's like it makes sense, because you need to give people time to prepare. If you drop this in September, like say a month from now, they tell us what the price is, it's like you're giving people 2 months to get ready for this thing. It's like I know people know that it's coming and they may have already been saving, but some people don't work that way. They're not wired that way. They want to know exactly what it costs, exactly what they need, before they, start allotting funds into it. It's like, so I just find it weird, but we'll see. I guess we'll find out. I mean, we're getting closer. Eventually, it's going to happen. Like the consoles are either going to launch or they're not. So as we get closer, I guess we'll find out for sure. But okay, I guess we'll call it there. We've been going for a while. So if you guys have liked this episode, please like the episode, review the show, and subscribe to the show on whatever feed you're listening to it on. And please share it with your friends. If you'd like to talk to any of us on Twitter, you can do so at iTrap4the Hokage for Montrell. That's the number 4, not the word. Tiara is at Victorian Jedi. I'm at ThunderNut01, and the show is at The Player's Take. If you'd like to send us a question, you can do so on Twitter, or you can send us an email to theplayerstake01@gmail.com. And next week, like I said, we are going to be talking about those WB games, the Batman game and the Suicide Squad game. I believe both are being shown this weekend. And if anything else drops in terms of, console prices or release dates or anything like that, we will definitely cover that as well. That's it. Hope you guys enjoyed this one, and we will see you on the next one. All right, bye.